Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince, written in 1513, wasn't meant as a philosophical treatise. It was a practical manual for survival in the world of power. 5 centuries later, its core insights remain uncannily relevant. Whether you're navigating office politics, social circles, or digital networks, the same unspoken rules apply. This video distills 7 enduring principles from Machiavelli's work, each offering a provocative lens for understanding how influence, respect, and belonging are won and lost. These laws aren't prescriptions, they're observations. What you do with them is your own moral responsibility. Let's explore how these ancient strategies map onto modern social navigation. Machiavelli's first law is blunt. Perception is the only reality that matters. He argued that it's more important to appear virtuous than to actually possess virtues. Most people judge by what they see, not what they investigate. In today's world, this principle is more operative than ever. LinkedIn profiles, Instagram feeds, and Zoom calls shape reputations instantly. A polished personal brand can propel someone further than actual skill alone. Managing perception isn't deception, it's communication. The discomfort is real. Optimizing for perception can feel dishonest, but substance without visibility is socially invisible. This sets the stage for our exploration of social dynamics. The age of digital networking, perception is currency. Professionals with polished profiles often advance faster than those with superior skills but poor visibility. Managing perception is not about deception, it's about strategic communication. Failing to do so is a costly choice. The tension lies in balancing authenticity with visibility. Machiavelli's insight reminds us, substance without visibility is invisible. As we move forward, consider how your own reputation is shaped by what others see, not necessarily what you do. Law II, neutrality is a losing position. Machiavelli's counterintuitive claim is that staying neutral in conflicts doesn't keep you safe, it makes you irrelevant and untrustworthy. Committing to a side, even the losing one, earns more credibility than strategic ambiguity. In organizations, leaders who avoid taking positions are often seen as self-protective, not wise. In social networks, those who never state clear opinions rarely build genuine influence. The risk is real. Committing to the wrong side has consequences, but not committing is itself a choice with consequences. Navigating these waters requires courage and calculation. Modern workplaces and social groups reflect Machiavelli's insight. Those who refuse to take sides are often seen as untrustworthy. Leaders who avoid tough decisions lose respect. The tension is real. Committing to the wrong side can have consequences, but neutrality is rarely rewarded. The calculation is unavoidable. As you navigate your own networks, remember that influence is built by taking clear positions, not by hiding behind ambiguity. Law III, generosity done badly will ruin you. Machiavelli distinguished between generosity funded from your own reserves and generosity funded from others. The first depletes you and breeds dependency. The second generates loyalty. A reputation for being slightly difficult to please creates more genuine appreciation than one for giving freely. In modern workplaces, chronic overgiving, always saying yes, always absorbing others' problems, produces resentment, not gratitude. Adam Grant's research confirms Machiavelli's instinct. Undiscriminating generosity can lead to both the highest and lowest outcomes, depending on whether it's strategic or reflexive. The tension in generosity is uncomfortable. Modern self-help often promotes radical generosity, but Machiavelli urges intentionality. Overgiving sets expectations that can't be sustained. Strategic generosity, on the other hand, builds loyalty and appreciation. As you navigate professional and social relationships, consider how your generosity is perceived and whether it's truly serving your interests and those of others. OIV, fear is more reliable than love, but hatred destroys everything. Machiavelli didn't say fear is better than love. He said if you can't have both, fear is more dependable. Love is conditional, while fear is self-sustaining. However, being hated is catastrophic. The ideal is respect with mild fear. The disaster is contempt. In modern dynamics, leaders who are liked but not respected are bypassed when likability becomes inconvenient. Those who command genuine respect hold their standing more durably. Warmth without substance breeds affection, not influence. Leaders and peers who command respect through competence, reliability, and clear standards maintain their social standing. The challenge is to navigate this balance without sliding into punishing management styles that corrode performance. Machiavelli's focus was survival, not optimization. In your own networks, aim for respect with warmth, but never sacrifice competence signals for likability. Law V, new favors do not erase old injuries. Machiavelli observed that harm persists in memory far longer than kindness. Relationships have asymmetric memories. Negative experiences are encoded more deeply and retrieved more readily than positive ones. In professional relationships, A single public humiliation or broken promise will outlast dozens of positive interactions. Recovery requires explicit acknowledgement and time, not just a new run of good behavior. Machiavelli's implied advice is simple: avoid creating enemies in the first place. In practice, this requires a level of social precision most people underestimate. Navigating competitive environments without making enemies is difficult, but essential for long-term influence. When mistakes happen, recovery is possible, but it demands explicit acknowledgement and patience. As you build relationships, remember that negative memories are powerful and require careful management. OVI, fortune favors the bold, but boldness must be timed. Machiavelli claimed that fortune responds better to decisive action than caution. In modern terms, people who ask for opportunities, raises, introductions, roles, receive them at higher rates than those who wait to be recognized. Waiting for readiness is often a rationalization for risk aversion. However, bold action without reading the context can lead to dramatic failures. Timing is not caution, it's precision. The line between well-timed boldness and recklessness is defined only in retrospect. This makes Machiavelli's sixth law both useful and difficult to apply. In your own professional journey, consider how timing and context shape the outcomes of bold moves. Fortune rewards those who act decisively, but only when their actions are informed by situational awareness. Precision, not caution, is the key to successful risk-taking. Law VII. The crowd is easier to win than the powerful, but you need both. Machiavelli distinguished between broad popular support and elite favor. Popular backing is resilient, but elite sponsorship is necessary to acquire and operate power. In today's networked environment, broad credibility, built through public reputation and dependability, provides distributed social capital. Elite sponsorship, senior colleagues, investors, editors, provides access that broad credibility alone cannot. Neither broad networks nor elite relationships alone are sufficient. People who cultivate only elite relationships are fragile when those relationships break. Those who build only broad networks find that influence without access has limits. The honest discomfort, building broad credibility and cultivating powerful patrons, require different social skills, and most people are better at one than the other. Navigating this dual-track system is essential for lasting influence. Machiavelli is often misread as a cynical apologist for manipulation. Read carefully, he's an honest observer of how social systems actually function. The 7 principles share a common structure. Each identifies a gap between how people wish social dynamics worked, on merit, goodwill, and fairness, and how they demonstrably do work, as a negotiation between perception, power, timing, and relationship architecture. None of the laws require dishonesty or coldness. They require clarity and realism. Today's landscape, professional networks are partly digital, reputations are more portable and fragile, and social mobility depends on who knows you and what they believe about you. Machiavelli's observations have sharper edges than they did in a Florentine court. Social navigation is a skill, not a personality trait. It can be studied, practiced, and improved. The first step is to stop pretending the rules don't exist. Understanding these laws is the foundation for effective social navigation. Social navigation is not innate. It's a skill that can be learned and refined. Machiavelli's enduring provocation is that improvement begins with acknowledging the real rules of social systems. Whether you're building a career, managing relationships, or seeking influence, these principles offer a roadmap for navigating complexity. Practice, observation, and adaptation are key to mastering the art of social navigation. Applying Machiavelli's principles doesn't require manipulation or coldness. It requires clear-eyed realism and strategic action. In every social and professional context, these laws help you understand the dynamics at play and make informed choices. The challenge is to balance authenticity with strategy, generosity with intentionality, and boldness with timing. As you reflect on these laws, consider how they shape your own approach to influence and belonging. 7 Machiavellian laws offer practical takeaways for anyone navigating social hierarchies. Perception, commitment, intentional generosity, respect, memory, boldness, and dual-track influence are all critical. None of these require you to be dishonest or exploitative. Instead, they demand awareness, precision, and adaptability. As you move forward, use these principles to sharpen your social navigation skills and build lasting influence. Machiavelli's The Prince remains relevant because it captures the uncomfortable truths about how power and influence operate. Social navigation is a skill that can be improved with study and practice. The enduring challenge is to recognize the real rules and use them wisely. As you apply these principles, remember that clarity, intentionality, and adaptability are your greatest assets. Machiavelli's laws are not just historical curiosities, they are living strategies for modern life.